I understand everybody want me to be the target. I understand everybody want me to be the bad guy for everything that goes on in the village, but that's not the truth.
Tiffany Henyard met with us and her attorney to comment on the report. They say Henyard released a statement Tuesday, but it didn't get much attention. Henyard says she's being blamed for the actions of others.
You're their boss.
Do everybody know what their employees do? No.
But do you feel responsibility because they were your employees?
I feel responsibility to tell the truth, and that's what I'm doing.
So you heard for yourself. Tiffany says that everyone wants her to be the bad guy and responsible for what's going on. Well, Tiffany, it is your story, right? And remember telling the trustees, no one wants to hear from y'all. They want to hear from the mayor, and I quote, if you ain't learnt that yet. So yes, ma'am, no one's saying that you're the only bad guy in this mess. Clearly, we have 20/20 vision. We can see you're not the only bad guy, but you're definitely one of them. And since this is your story, your show, your reign as the head girl in charge, then guess what, Tiffany? That means it's on you to take accountability. So again, this is your mess, Tiffany. You wrote the story, the script, and now it's time to face the consequences. And if you would take a moment to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We would love to have you as a part of the SC family. And if you're here for thought-provoking commentary and real conversations, you're in the right place. Now, my goal is to hit 10K subscribers by the end of February, and every single person makes a difference. So to my subscribers and supporters, thank you for all you do. And now, back to the story.
Put the responsibility where it goes. I understand everybody wants to be the mayor. It's not the mayor. It's people put in place.
Lori Lightfoot's not interested in fact, but in spectacle. She's interested in political theater that's going to help her, not the people.
You guys know I always have a $1 million question. And today it is, where is Governor J.B. Pritzker? Where is Attorney General Kwame Raoul? And what about Cook County State's Attorney Eileen Burke? Because the silence from Illinois' top officials is deafening. With chaos erupting in Dolton and Thornton Township, why hasn't anyone stepped in? And what does this mean going forward? So in case you didn't know, there was a major Zoom call that just took place. I believe it was yesterday, and its message was clear. Tiffany Henyard must go. Local officials are fed up with her corruption, mismanagement, and unchecked power, and having formally pleaded with the state's leaders to remove Tiffany from Dolton and Thornton Township, they're even more annoyed and aggravated that no one has responded. Now, their demand for immediate action comes after years of controversy, alleged financial mismanagement. You know the story. Wrongful terminations, intimidation tactics, and surrounding herself with a circle of suspects allies, many of whom have criminal records or serious allegations. And I'm sure, guys, you've seen the brawl between some of the residents and Tiffany Henyard's staff unfold after or during, really, the Thornton Township meeting, where Tiffany Henyard, the mayor, supervisor herself, was caught on camera joining in the chaos. Now, when the news broke of the violent melee at the township meeting, Tiffany wasted no time spinning the narrative. She claimed that she was simply defending her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, from an outsider who brandished a knife. Now, here's the one problem, though, guys. Nobody else saw a knife. And I've watched this countless times, right? I've not seen anything that resembled a knife. And activist Jedediah Brown, who was at the center of all of this chaos, he exposed what really happened.
She ran from behind the table with a microphone in her hand, and she hit me with it, while another one of her staff members was kicking me in the head, and I was defending myself against Kamal and other individuals. She wasn't breaking up anything.
So I plead today, alongside everybody involved, that the governor
and the state's attorney give the people what they already said they wanted, and that was for them to step up and remove this so that it doesn't go on another day.
In a call to action letter, the village's Board of Trustees called Tuesday night's fight disgraceful.
So Tiffany and her attorney, in Tiffany fashion, are alleging that Jedediah was some random outside person that came in to incite violence. But to be honest with you, from the time that Pink Book Lessons broke the story, as well as the residents who have been fighting endlessly for years to expose the corruption of Tiffany Henyard, as well as Jedediah, he has really moved this to another level of exposure. Now, that's from my perspective. Now, could we have done things differently? Of course, right? Hindsight is always 2020. But when you look at it and it's all said and done, I think that Jedediah was instrumental in getting the exposure, finally pushing this to a point where they have to make a decision and the facts are before people and they get to decide if what Tiffany Henyard has done, allegedly done, is doing, is capable of doing in the future is something that they want to live with. And of course, now Tiffany's version is, some Paul Bunyan story, as far as I'm concerned, that the reason that she jumped into the fight was because someone brandished a knife. Now, no one else, after looking at this unfold, I've probably looked at it, guys, 20 or 30 times. I've not seen a knife, neither have I seen anyone who said that there was a knife. Maybe one person, I think, one content creator that I watched, it sounded ridiculous, but she did say something about there was a knife. But here's the deal. The clock is ticking. Will the state finally step in? I don't think they will. But with public trust at an all-time low and officials now openly demanding Tiffany's removal, the question remains, how long can Tiffany Henyard hold on? Now, there's been a formal call for the state intervention that's now in motion. Her own inner circle is crumbling, and residents have had enough. And yet, Governor Pritzker, Attorney General Raoul, and State Attorney Burke have remained silent. What does that all mean? I think that it means that they want to keep their hands out of this mess, and they probably are figuring what everyone else is thinking is that her time is so limited, like what's the use? But they can't just assume that, that's the case. They need to get Tiffany out of the running for Dolton, for the mayoral race in Dolton. Now, we know she's not on the ballot for Thornton Township. That election is in April, but, she can still be a write-in, which I also don't think is going to happen. But stranger things have happened, so they technically just need to get her behind out of office. So Tiffany has burned every bridge, and now the only thing left is the fallout, right? What are they going to do with the fallout? Will the state finally step in, or will she be allowed to run Dolton into the ground even further? Now, I want to hear from you guys, okay? With everything happening, the explosive township brawl, officials openly calling for Tiffany's removal, and then the eerie silence from the state leaders, what do you think? Why do you think Governor Pritzker, Attorney General Raoul, and State Attorney Burke are staying quiet? And do you think Tiffany Henyard is finally out of moves, or will she find a way to survive this? And what about the so-called knife? Did any of you see any knife being brandished? Do you buy her story? Or is this just another attempt for Tiffany to shift blame as she does so well? And as always, thank you for tuning in to Southern Confidential, where we dive into crime, political corruption, and thought-provoking commentary. So if you'd like to help us meet our 10K goal by the end of February, we're reaching for, please subscribe, like the channel, share the video, and I will see you next time.